how can educational institutions stay responsive to rapidly evolving the industry needs without rebuilding the curriculum very often, every few years?
I was looking for some data on Udemy. So I think all of us know about Udemy. And the top 10 courses on Udemy right now are certifications by companies like Google, IBM, Amazon, AWS certification courses, right? If you looked 5 years back, all the popular courses were from independent creators or colleges. And now the popular courses are from industry players. So the same thing needs to happen to educational institutions. We had a case where a wallet company called Khalti collaborated with the top engineering college in Nepal, which is Pulchok campus, and they designed the entire course for the fintech, people who were interested in fintech. Engineers who wanted some fintech background, so that when they went into companies like Khalti, Isewa, like any fintech company, they had already nailed the basics, right? So I think more and more courses should be designed, and this conversation becomes very difficult because when we use the word in collaboration with academia, it becomes a difficult conversation. I think entire courses should be designed by industry, but they should be elective, right? So academia should focus on the core, which is like year 1, year 2, and probably year 3 and year 4 should be designed by the industry exclusively without interference from academia. That's my hot take.
Very good. There is one gentleman here in the front.
We can squeeze in a final question, yes?
I guess my question is for Keshav sir and Puneet sir. So I see lots of MOUs being signed by colleges and glorified in social media that we signed an MOU with WorldLink, we signed an MOU with Programmies. If they had purchased a premium subscription of Programmies for their students, it would have made sense to me. Like it is some platform that they are getting, the outcome is clear, right? But when it comes to MOUs, what is the outcome that colleges are getting from companies, number one? And number two, why has it become so easy to just get a MOU signed by company with any colleges? Like there must be some kind of due diligence, right? So,
I don't think we have signed many MOUs, if I remember very well. And I particularly took the interest in training and all these kind of things. So if there is, we don't just sign anything for publicity. But if there are some meaningful MOUs, like sometimes we sponsor the students in colleges, like for the rockets and things like that. And those kind of things where there are tangible outcomes, we sign MOU and at least see what happens with that MOU. But we don't usually go with just signing an MOU and that's just to show off for the press and things. So I think we have refrained from that. But if they're meaningful things, then we do it.
I think it goes back to, again, the answer I've given before. Unless we force the colleges to publish placement results, nothing will change.
Good afternoon. My question goes to Hariharan sir. How can this education system adapt to the changing demand of market job and equip the students with the skills they need to succeed in the future? Thank you.
I'm going to answer this very fast. I know time is up. But so just to quickly answer this, how do we bridge this gap? From an education perspective, as I mentioned before, number one is getting as much industry involved in the university, not just curricular development, including exposure to students, speaking to students, competitions, career fairs, and etc. Now, another thing, echoing to what Puneet has said, in Malaysia, in our university, we actually offer certification programs to students. The moment they graduate, we tell the student, hey, the moment you graduate, what differentiates you from a degree holder to another degree holder? So we tell them certifications, especially in the IT world. We're talking about certifications from Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Google, Oracle, and so on like that. We say this kind of certification differentiates you, and it tells the employer that I am actually focusing my expertise in this particular skill and I want to advance my skill in this area. So these are one of the things that we practice to bridge the gap. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all our panelists and to our moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. May I please invite onto the stage Mr. Sirijang Hang Rai, Manager, Innovation and Strategy at Skill Lab, to kindly present a token of appreciation to all our panelists. We'd like to request our panelists to please to stay back, and we'd like to request Mr. Rai to kindly join us onto the stage as quickly as possible, because our moderators have started to disperse out of the stage. So maybe we'll do it right in front of the stage as well. Thanking our panelists and our moderator for this particular panel discussion. We know the gap is really big, so we cannot really come up with concrete solutions in 45 minutes. But please do scan the QR code that is on your table and maybe share your thoughts as to how can we help in bridging the gap between employment and education. We'd like to thank our moderator, Mr. Aj. We'd like to thank our panelists, Mr. Hariharan, Mr. Keshav, Mr. Puneet, and Ms. Rosaria for their incredible input as we talked about bridging the education employment gap. Some incredible points from the panel, and it is definitely, it has to be a multi-sectoral approach with the academic institutions and industry as well as the students at the center of it all. Ladies and gentlemen, please do scan the QR code and definitely share in some of your thoughts. We are also, after this distribution of token of appreciation, moving towards a group photograph. May I please request all our panelists to kindly join us at the center for a group photograph. Yeah, सम्पूर्णलाई उहाँहरूलाई सेन्टर स्टेजमा राखेर हामी एउटा ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ खिच्नेछौँ। यसपछि म एउटा क्वेसन सोध्नेछु यहाँहरूलाई, so hoping that everybody is ready for the question as well. Thank you to our incredible panelists and our moderator for the second session. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are ready for our second giveaway. I hope you're not sleepy and wide awake after lunch. We've completed our second panel discussion. Now, this is something that has been informed to me that you have been told again and again. This has been a message that has been shared multiple times. So let's see who actually does remember this particular data. The question goes like this. I feel like a quiz master. According to ILO 2017 report, what is the graduate unemployment rate of Nepal? I see somebody right in front who's put their hands up. Let's see. Let's hear the answer. 10.69 is incorrect. Okay, we move on to the next. We're shocked. Okay. A lady right here. I think our volunteers will have to be quick and see whoever's putting the hands up, please be besides them. 10 is incorrect. It's a bit higher, I would say. Another hint?
11.36.
Incorrect. It's quite shocking.
5.8.
Sorry?
5.8.
5. We wish it was 5, I guess.
10.4.
Not. Incorrect.
20%.
10.40.
10 incorrect. 20, almost there.
20.5.
10.40.
Nope. 26.1 is the right answer. Congratulations. We'd like to request you to kindly come forward to take this gift hamper. And may I request Niladri sir to kindly join us and present this gift. Congratulations to Mr. Dravid Subedi for getting it right. So according to the 2017's ILO's report, the graduate unemployment rate of Nepal is 26.1%. Many, many congratulations to him. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving towards our third panel discussion, which is on policy instruments, career guidance services as a tool for future success. I think a very important topic we're heading towards. Policy plays a very, very crucial role when it comes to any sort of transformation and change, long-term change. And in this panel discussion on policy instruments, career guidance services as a tool for future success, our expert panelists will explore the role of policy in strengthening career counseling, the use of technology in guidance services, and how governments, educators, and industry leaders can work together to equip individuals with the right tools for career success. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our third and final panel discussion here at Unleashing Asia Summit. I'd like to invite our moderator, Mr. Sailendra Jha, Member City Planning Commission, Kathmandu Metropolitan City Office. Would like to request him to kindly join us as the moderator, binding together our thoughts of our panelists for this particular session. I'm also delighted and honored to welcome our panelists for this particular session. Ms. Dipti Acharya Chetri, Founder Director at Sanskriti International School. Mr. Bakhtiyar Hansan, Board of Directors, Asia Pacific Career Development Association. Would like to request her to kindly join us as well. I'd also like to request Mr. Teddy Budiwan, Head, Collaboration and Civil Service Psychology Profession Organization, to kindly join us onto the stage as a panelist for this particular session. And I'd also like to invite Mr. Pankaj Parajuli, National Program Officer of TVET Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, to kindly join us onto the stage to complete this particular panel that is talking about policy instruments, digital career guidance services as a tool for future success. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with us till the very last panel. Without any further delay, I'd like to request Mr. Jha to kindly take over.
Namaste and good afternoon, distinguished guests, participants, and I'm very glad to be the moderator of such esteemed panelists. I will directly go to the question, and I don't think I'll be introducing, I need introduction, I need to introduce our panelists, but I'll just like to share, I would like to share the scenario that we represent as a moderator and panelist. So in the panel, we have participants representing the industry, academics, as well as policymakers, both at national and global level. And I believe in today's panel, we will have an opportunity to understand the national context as well as to understand the global scenario. And we look forward to an amazing panel, and I would like to welcome you all in this panel discussion. So my first question is towards Pankaj Parajuli, sir. You have tremendous experience of both national level. You work with Nepal government, as well as you represent global organization, and the organization you represent work across the globe. But even before that, I would ask you to reflect on your own student journey and share with us what was your experience of career guidance when you were a student, and as well as I would also like to add you, what are the tools available both locally and globally?
Thank you, Saranji. So in terms of my career pathways, it's very mixed. I don't know how much you want to hear it, but I started off as a civil engineer. By the third year, I was like, I'm definitely not doing this. So I think my journey has been a journey where I've realized what I don't want to do and what I'm bad at, right? So I think that has shaped me to be who I am today, or what I want to do in the future as well. So knowing my limitations was one area, and the other one that I really wanted to look at was, I always wanted to be at the nexus of two things, right? I think that's where in the career progression pathways, if you can be an economist and an engineer, or like if you can find that particular nexus, that's where you can excel. So I think the more relevant question is what are the tools, digital tools available. So in terms of career guidance, a whole career guidance services would probably encounter 4 or 5 different thematic areas. One is supporting someone to choose a career, right? So this would be like based on your ability, based on the student's ability, their motivation, their interest, and what they're good at and what they want to be, right? And there are multiple tools that allows you to do it. So internationally, you have like Biometrics, you have Career Explorer, these tools available online that can be used. If you want to look at the local context, so the Ministry of Education has one tool uploaded on its website. It's on Career Guidance Services, so cgs.moest.gov.np. So there, the psychometric analysis tool is readily available. It's free and it's for the local context and it's in Nepali. The next probably thing that you probably need is be able to explore careers, right? Like you need students to be able to explore different careers. So one, of course, you can do it digitally, virtually. So for virtuals, you have ZSpace that allows you to do it for most of the STEM courses. And then you have embodied labs. These are all virtual tools that allows you to experience careers at different platforms, and that can be used. Locally, I think we can just do it, do a job shadowing, ask an entrepreneur to come to your school, have different kinds of, different people from different professions come to the schools or colleges to talk about it. So these are the more practical ways you can do this thing. And you can, of course, have internships, but internships has to be of a certain duration for it to be actually beneficial for the company, so you have to be balanced in that regard. And of course, you need to be able to have job resumes, so they're like, grammar corrections can be done internet-wise, very easily, but then there are softwares like VMock, JobScan, that really help you do it on a global level as well. So of course, there are multiple different ways of doing it, and yeah, I think those are the tools that are available. But I think for in our context, what is also not quite there, and the locally what's being worked on is really having a labor market intelligence. So knowing where our future job lies. So those kind of efforts are being done to really identify where the job market growth is, and also mapping out the different educational pathways. I think I'll stop here for now.
Thank you. So you said about different practices on career guidance, and I was glad to learn that there are some tools that has been locally available. And now I'll move to 2 panelists, and one representing Malaysia and other coming from Indonesia. And you have heard our earlier panelist, and I would like to learn from you, when you were a student in your own country, how did you experience career guidance at that time? And as you are also leading this market of career guidance, not only nationally, but I believe globally, so in today's time, how your students are experiencing the career guidance? So one of you can start, another can add on that same question.
Thank you for the questions. Question number one, how was my experience getting career guidance? To be frank to you, number one, I never had a career counselor in my school. From primary until I finished my secondary 5, we don't have any counselor. Why? Because I was the pioneer of that school. It means when it's open, I was the first batch. Can you imagine? There's a lot of issues related to adolescents. So that's number one. How do I, get my guidance for career? I think very much later when, in normal, I come a very I'm from a low-end family income. My father is just a policeman, low ranks, and my mother is just a factory worker. So when we in school, I was fortunate. I was given opportunity to study in a boarding school. But the boarding school, we were the first batch. For the past 5 years when we were the pioneer, we do not have any opportunities. So we fight a lot, we do a lot. But again, what makes the difference, again, I think the teachers always encourage for us to do our academic well. So I think that is the only guidance that we have. And I'm fortunate my teachers are still alive, and I'm grateful with that. So what made my shift in terms of career when I was in the university, coming from a low-end family, I'm very much into humanitarian. So I think that would get me, when I finished my study, the first thing that I wanted to do, not to join industry, not to join government, I want to do civil society. So it gave me an opportunity to stay and work with the humanitarian organization in Afghan, Pakistan, and also later to Kashmir for 1 year when I was very young. So from that end, I was given a first experience how poor East people is as compared to me, from Malaysia. So that evolved, and later I, in a way, commit to myself and say, I now attached with the university, multimedia institute. We are very famous in creative multimedia. So when I was given an opportunity to serve at Career Center, so we continue to inspire students to find their passions. And we continue to that along the way. Because I see a lot of people, young people, they are stuck with academics, but they are not into that passion. So we try to, in a way, navigate so that they're able to position themselves in well. One of the things that I learned from one of the delegates here, from Common Purpose, I think it's something which is important, which relates to me. A lot of young people always ask for jobs. Let's turn it around. Add value first, then people will do favor for you. So that is something that resonates to me, and I think that is lacking among millennials nowadays. Always demand for what is it for me, rather than what can I do, contribute that makes a difference. So that is my response to that. The next question, what